Hi, everyone. Mark Walker here, Head of Member Services with I4CP with the latest highlights from our weekly talent acquisition call. We have exciting news that we are kicking off on August 18th, our latest cohort. It's our third for HRBP development. Please go to our website to check that out. Some great things, especially on D&I that we're doing there. We kicked off this week's call with a poll question specifically about how organizations are sharing diversity, hiring, and employment data by their organization. It's an interesting trend to see that this is increasing outside of HR, getting to executive leadership. There's a little bit more that's shared with all employees, and then there's, I would say, a trickle right now that's shared publicly. As we move to our guest this week, Annie Rihn from Zillow, Annie really told a powerful story of how Zillow has built from the ground up a recruiting machine that really thinks about not only the impact to diversity, but also the behaviors that fundamentally drive that. As much as anything, Annie shared in this hour-long meeting very practical tips on how the organization can do everything from showing up at bus stops to meet people eye to eye. Back in the day, that was one of their crucial ways of recruiting digital talent, and they have found that as a spirit at which recruiting really drives change inside their organization. They also really embrace not just the themes like racism has no home here, but put that into fundamental actions that recruiters take to move things forward. One of the key questions that we again posed in a poll form this week was around the use of mandatory diversity hiring slates. While it's still on the lighter side in terms of organizations that are using it, meaning not the majority of organizations still are not using diversity hiring slates. We did hear some interesting examples of how organizations are not only using slates, but they're also using diversity hiring panels, sometimes through their ERGs, diverse leaders, et cetera, to really wrap around. If we're going to want to attract diverse talent, we want to make sure they're interviewed by diverse leaders inside the organization. As we moved forward into a couple of other specific areas within Zillow's talent acquisition strategy, I'd asked very specifically, man, there's a ton of organizations that you seem to draw from in terms of sourcing talent. I asked what was most effective, and Annie gave a great answer. She simply said, it's not any one of those that creates the secret. It's really about the behaviors at which they approach these. It's the messaging that they build, and she is a strong advocate of things like Textio as a way to ensure that we are really thinking about the words matter, that words really draw applicants to the organization, and people self-select when they don't see themselves working for the business. The other piece that was very powerful to talk about, and I encourage you to go to their website at Zillow Careers, specifically as there are some interesting things that they share about the makeup of their organization. And simply I'd asked when I looked at their reporting on gender, underrepresented groups, et cetera, in terms of their overall mix of employment inside Zillow, I'd asked what was the candidate response to seeing that on their website and on their career page. Hands down, Annie said, it is really a draw for top talent to come and see we are open as an organization to wanting to embrace and continue to increase the diverse talent that we bring in, not only early career, but throughout the ranks inside the business. As I leave you, I will encourage you to continue to ask questions of us as we are not only trying to dig into data like this, but we're also encouraging organizations to disaggregate the data to really understand how do we define the demographics that are built inside it? Are there regional differences? Are there differences by specific job skills or job capabilities that really may skew the data? There are powerful stories to tell, but we also want to make sure that we're taking a reality check around that. As I again let you go, I'd love to hear more from you in terms of what questions are burning as you're going forward and ensuring that the community at I4CP and I4CP can help support you. with that, I'll leave you, and I hope that you have a great week and that you're being well.